was loud. Okay. So just to I want to show you assembly, because some people were saying like my parts aren't oriented the right way. How do I rotate them? If you do click on parts, you can move them around. So if I am looking at this navigation kind of axis, if you click on the arrows, it'll have you move it. But if you click just above it, there's this little arch, it'll let you rotate it. It doesn't really matter though where it's oriented, because when you do the constraints, it's going to force it to be in an orientation that should work for you. So, and I'm going to try not to use this tool because it doesn't work on your Chromebooks. All right, so I just want to explain how I'm going to put that last piece in, and hopefully I get the same problem that you have had, and I tried to demonstrate in the video, but it didn't give me the same problem. So what the problem is, so last piece I'm going to do, I want the inside seat of that making contact with that seat there. All right. So to make that happen, we're going to use the fasten mate, just like we do for all of them. And I'm going to click, I want that disc. I want this disc to be sitting kind of on that flat surface. I'm going to click in the middle. And then if I go over here, trying not to do that, so it matches kind of how you're going to navigate. And I want it to touch the center of that. All right, so it did put it in that position. Of course, when I want it to not work, it works. But once it's where you want it, you can hit OK. Now, if it wasn't where I wanted it, let me go back. I'm going to try to like make this not work. Okay, so this is, I'm just going to try it. Whoops. I'm going to try it a slightly different way. I'm just clicking on things that might not line up. I do need the discs. So even if you're clicking on the edge, you do need the disc lining up to the flat surface. Okay, there we go. All right. So you want to make sure you don't click on them in that order. My bad. You want to click on the thing that's moving first. So if you click on them in the other way, it'll rip it apart. So I want to click on that object first, and then click on this object. So that way it's going to move that thing to here. Okay, perfect. This works. Well, it didn't work, which is what I was trying to have it do. So it's kind of in the right position, but it's in the wrong spot. I need it to move over. So to get it to move over, because this is where a lot of people are having problems, once I've gone through and I've done like the rotations, oh, okay, let's just pretend the rotation didn't work right. So you can rotate it around and you can also flip it. So sometimes you'll click constraints, it'll come in backwards, you can flip it, and at least it's on the right side. Let's pretend I put it there though, and I'm like, that's not in the right spot. Over on the left, you have a check mark that says offset in that menu. In here, you can slide and shift it in X, Y, or Z axes. To figure out which axes you need to slide it on though, if you look into where it is though, you can see X, Y, and Z, and you can put numbers in. So like if I put a number in for X, let me just do like 1.5 because that's 2 cubes. It'll move it over 2 cubits in distance. If you need to move it down, usually that's Z depending on your orientation. But you can put numbers in there, and that'll help you shift it around to where you need it to go. So it looks like I need to go over one more. So 2.25 and move over 3 cubes. And then it needs to move down 1 cube. So I'm going to guess at C. You can do negative 0.75, see if that's the right direction. That was not. So change that back to 0. Try y, negative 0.75. That was the wrong direction. Okay, so I'll go positive 0.75. So I'm just putting these down, and they don't have to be 0.75 either. Some people have it off by 1. So that now that location is fine, and that works. So I did that all by shifting it using the offset option over here. So that's going to be something that's going to help a lot. If you can get it to the right orientation through the mate constraint, but you can't get it to the position with the mate constraint.